Buddy, we're live, or they're saying we're live. This is going to change things. They're putting the roof up here white.
Oh wow!
Usually,
So
yeah, I don't know what it's going to do to the lighting in here. It's not like, I mean, its northern light is pretty even and consistent, but does wash out the photos slightly. Might happen more. I don't know. We'll see. It's feeling summery, like hot, but not too hot out there. But yeah, you can see the green, the lush. The city's hidden behind there. Brand new white, white roofing. We'll see if they do the whole thing. It's funny, man. They're always working on this roof because it leaks constantly. It's an impossible roof. Let's get down to business. Injex, speaking of white and weddings, it's that season, all that shit. I don't know. People still wear blazers. I don't. Tyler's looking sharp. Look at that.
What's up, everyone?
What's up? Man, let's get on to business. Yeah. Well, the Blazers went up on Thursday. They were a little delayed as a lot of things happened. And then now we got the Linears. Which pair? It's not really a suit. It separates. But you can see, like, the fabric is cut from the same dye batch, right? So you got color matching. If you buy a suit, they don't just cut from the same dye batch. They literally cut from the same roll and next to each other in the roll, right? Because there's always dye variation. So if you're looking for the absolute consistency, the way to do that when you're making a suit is you cut the pants and the jacket from the same part of the same roll of fabric. These are cut from different rolls, but from the same dye batch. So most people won't notice it. And then, Injex does fade, so they're going to fade differently. Somebody brought that up. But I don't know. Let's talk about it. We got fit. Tyler's rocking the charcoal. We call this charcoal? RD charcoal, yeah.
Full dye?
Yeah. It's, yeah. It's looking nice.
Yeah,
I don't know if I call it
medium.
charcoal. It's gray. It's a nice gray. Crispy. Hem. They come on hem, the pants, so you can see Tyler hemmed them.
Yeah.
Which is the recommendation. We're saving some work for the tailor, and it's long. There's lots of length, and
You could cut it off.
yeah, you can leave a raw cut,
But
it's not. It's a formal.
I didn't love it.
Yeah, like, so Injex raw cuts really, really well. Like, so this is injected linen. I guess this is a good segue. Everybody knows we talked about injected linen so many times, but if you're brand new here, the beauty of injected linen is, it's a very different technique. It's technically a knitting technique, but in a lot of ways it resembles weaving. It's a knit. It's a warp knit, which is not a common knit compared to circular knitting or flatbed knitting. So there's a lot of types of knitting, right? And so the most common, like your t-shirt or whatever, is what's known as a circular knit. It's knit in a big cylinder. And then what's called flatbed knitting, which is like your full garment knitting, your engineered knitting, engineered sweaters and whatnot. And that's actually also in a circle, but it's on a flat bed that's also working in a circle. So that's flatbed knitting. And so that's the second most common. And the third is warp knitting, which is knitting kind of like the way you're weaving, like up. And while it's the third less common, like it's a super high volume knitting technique for certain things. But one of the benefits of warp knitting is that you can raw cut it really easily. And so there's the raw cut. You can't see it too well. But you can raw cut it really easily. Very little fraying. Circular knitting also raw cuts without, it depends on the knit structure too. But circular knitting also raw cuts pretty well too, except with circular knitting, it tends to roll, whereas in warp knitting it doesn't, right? So that's the big difference, and that's why warp knitting is so easy to raw cut. This is a warp knit weft insertion. As far as we know, we're the only people in the world who use this technique to make clothes. It comes from Japan, so it's possible somebody in Japan is using this technique as well. And it's not even like a radically new technology, it's just like a rarefied technology. So somewhere, someplace, like, we haven't looked at every clothing item in the world, so maybe somebody else is using it somewhere or in the past, but as far as we can tell, we haven't found anybody else. So if not exclusive to OUTLIER, very, very, very rarefied to us, injected linen. And the beauty of it, and like why we love it so much, there's a few things, but the key thing is that it makes a really, really, really open fabric that's still quite opaque, right? It's not hard to make a fabric open, just open up the structure, spread out everything. But what happens is it becomes transparent and it loses structure, right? When you spread things out, right, things are not locked in place the same way, so it gets kind of shifty, and you also can start to see through it. The warp knit weft insertion allows us to make something that is very light, very breathable, extremely breathable. Like you can wear this stuff like in the weather that you wear shorts, and you can't really, like if it's weather you can't wear shorts, you can't really wear the pants. Like maybe a degree or two more. It's like, but like that's it. You know, like so if your cutoff for shorts is 70 degrees Fahrenheit, then you know maybe you can get down to 68 in the pants. But that's it. Like you're not wearing these in the winter or whatever. So injected linen, the summer joint. The other side of the thing of injected linen is that, you know, linen wrinkles, right? And that's part of the charm and like the character, and you can fight it and try and press it and whatever. But it can go too far too. And the injected linen, you know, it's a mix of it's linen and with polyester in the warp, and wrinkles like much more gently. It's like a lot easier to travel with. You can throw it around. It takes on more of like a waviness than like a crisp, sharp wrinkle. And so let's go back to business. Look at it. Here's Tyler in the suit. So somebody's asking about what the pants are. These are the Injex Linears. That's what's dropping today. The Blazers are up on the site already. They came out on Thursday. So yeah, and you know, again, like they're coming from the same dye batch, so you can match like that. And you know, what size are you wearing?
I'm wearing a medium.
Tyler's in a medium,
Yeah.
6 foot, 160 something pounds.
162.
162. And on the pants you go on the 30?
30, yeah.
Size 30. So regular size for both. Let's talk about the linears a little bit.
Sure. Are we going to do the Blazer after?
Yeah, you want to talk about the Blazer first?
Yeah.
All right, talk about the Blazer.
A couple things that I love about the Blazer.
Yeah.
Okay. One, Abe was talking about breathability. This is unlined. There's no lining here, so if I go over here, you can kind of see right through it. That's unusual to a Blazer because they're usually lined.
Yeah.
But that gives a ton of breathability. Great for you know those outdoor
There are
hot weddings.
Online Blazer is a subset of Blazers. So.
Yeah. So that's a. But then on top of it being unlined, this is a highly breathable fabric, so it's quite amazing.
Yeah.
So that really keeps you back. Cool. Or at least that's how I felt. And then the other piece that I really love this is the detail of the working buttonholes. So we have shown this in other years where we roll it or whatnot, but having that working buttonhole is a really nice detail. And you can alter it. So you can actually take this piece off and move it up, or if you just want to move the bottom hem of the sleeve about an inch, you get right there, which is a little bit easier than taking this entire piece off, but you can bring up the sleeves a little bit.
So this backstory here, right? So like in Blazers, right? Like, you know, like traditionally they had working buttonholes, and then but when made to measure, or not even made to measure, like, you know, mass produced suits started coming out, ready to wear suits, it's very hard to for a tailor to take apart a buttonhole if it shows through, right? So what we did here, right? So usually a buttonhole would come through here. You'd see the button, and it makes it basically like if you put the actual buttonholes, the working buttonholes on there, the tailor makes it very, very hard for them to adjust the sleeve length, right? If you want to get your sleeve dialed in perfectly. And so what we did here is put these buttons on this placket piece. And so they're working buttonholes, but you can take that piece off, and then the tailor can adjust the sleeve length quite easily. There's a little bit of work. It's not like, you know, same as like hemming, but it's like a much easier project. And then they can reattach this piece, and so you can shorten the sleeve really easily, and probably even extend it slightly if you wanted to. So makes it working.
You can definitely extend it.
Allows you to have both working buttonholes and tailorability, you know, without it being a crazy job. So this one says my pants do not come hemmed. Is this normal for OUTLIER? These particular ones do not come hemmed. Everything, almost all our other pants are finished. I wouldn't call hemmed like we, it's not like the, we don't have a hemming service, right? So if you need to hem them, like a tailor can do it. But these are the only ones I can think of that come raw. OGs?
Yeah, like that.
Oh, they came, yeah.
Unhemmed, but other
Yeah,
than that, I
yeah.
think it's just these.
Yeah, just the linears and the OGs. Everything else comes with a finished hem that we can think of, and maybe an experiment somewhere didn't. But the linears, because and this is something that comes out of like the tailoring tradition, right? Like a lot of times, if you buy a suit or separates, like they leave the pants unhemmed because in this world, it's really about getting the length perfect, right?
Yeah.
Dialing in like the break. Like different people have different breaks they desire, but like to get it, you need to work with your tailor, so Tyler wants this like very light single break here.
Yep.
It looks good. Some people want a heavier break. Some people want no break at all. That's your choice. So you gotta develop that style, and you gotta go to the tailor and have them make it happen. And there's no way to do that without either offering like hundreds of lengths, which would be like insane inventory management, or just leaving it on him the way we do. Well, I guess we could hem it and then let you hem it if you want to. But the point is, we're heavily suggesting that you go get these pants hemmed when you buy them. More on the Blazer. Tell us more about the Blazer, and then we'll get into linears again.
Sure. So it's single-breasted. We switched from our horn buttons to our
Our horn buttons.
What's that?
Not our horn buttons. They're leftover horn buttons from years ago. We haven't ordered
Yeah.
horn in a long time.
But they're definitely all our custom. But so these are Mombasa poly. Has a nice neck to get the button on there in a nice way. Beautiful lapel break. Shoulders quite fitted, which is great. And then single pocket on the inside. And decided to not have any
Flap.
lapels here.
Yeah, no flaps.
So, and then single vent in the back.
Yeah. There you go.
Nice and breathable. Very easy.
Yeah, I mean, so again, it's it's an unlined Blazer, right? So it's not the most formal, but it's nice, and then it's gonna be one of the most breathable you can get. You can obviously get there are unlined regular linen Blazers, but they're not going to travel nearly as well.
No.
If you got an unlined linen
Front
Blazer,
shot,
if you got if you're careful with it, like you can travel with it, but this you can pretty much like toss in your bag. Yeah, a little bit of care, I guess, but this is going to travel way better than pretty much any other unstructured linen Blazer out there.
And you can steam it out pretty quickly, in a hotel room or whatever.
Yeah.
If you have one of those at a hotel. Whereas if you had a linen Blazer, that's going to get crunched up. It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to get.
Jamie's asking if there's going to be more Injex and charcoal. I can't remember if we allocated it to anything else. There's not that much more Injex coming. We've got the camp collars and the oversized. I don't remember if any of them got charcoal. Yes. People answered. You have a size 30 on. We want to see the olive territory. All right, let's break up this little happy family over here. And Tyler's going to put on the olive territory, roll-dyed olive territory.
Oh, yeah, we didn't check. Is this the right size?
It's a medium, I think, yeah.
Because we didn't do it in how it fits, because we didn't have the right size.
Oh, is it a medium? But maybe one of them
it's
wasn't.
medium.
Yeah, okay. So here's Tyler rocking the olive territory, olive territory. Again, it's getting a little slightly washed out here and actually adding a little more sheen than you're going to see in person. Well, there is no Blazers linear combo price, but the price on the Blazer came down significantly.
$675 last year, I think, right?
Yeah, something like that. Now it's $525 on the Blazer. People want the spray pig Injex Blazer now. Think about it.
That's cool. That's a good idea.
Definitely.
I don't know if I could wear it, but...
All right, nice. Any other details on the Blazer, or should we talk about the linears?
we can get into the linears, I think.
All right. Injex Linears. So, and if you look on Tyler, you can see. So these are pleated pant. I think originally we called them the Injex pleats or something. But what the interesting thing about them is, like, when people think of pleated pants, there's pleats can face two directions. So you can see these face in towards the fly, right? And so that's technically an Italian pleat. Most people, when they think of pleated pants, think of what's a British pleat, where they face outwards, and they have dramatically different effects on the silhouette. So, and the reason why they're called linears, when they're facing inwards, it kind of puts the volume towards the center, and it makes like a really nice straight kind of fit. Whereas if you think of a pleated pant as being like kind of voluminous in the hips, that's like the British pleat, outward facing. And so what, like, it's basically putting, right, it's folded in here and it's putting the extra volume in towards the center, right, essentially in front of your legs, right? Whereas if the pleat is facing outwards, it's pushing outward, it's pushing the volume out towards the hips, right? And so that's much more common in America. Both are actually, around, but linears, right? So you get like these two pleats.
The pleat depth is very, very minimal.
Yeah.
We're talking about like a quarter of an inch maybe.
Yeah. So it's a shallow pleat. It's got a little volume. Stop calling them pleats because you can see the pleats don't really, like, people were actually saying that pleats would go away. The pleats wouldn't go away, but the crease, like, you can crease these, steam them into a nice crisp crease down there. It's a maintenance activity, but they do, kind of wear out very quickly. So the pleats become not super noticeable. But you get this really nice kind of like, it feels very like linear, feels like a straight cut. It's not really a straight cut technically, but you got like a decent amount of volume in there, like a nice flow. And the volume's amazing in Injex. The further away the Injex is from the body, the better it works. People want me to try on the Olive Territory Linears, but we don't have Tyler's size, I don't think.
They're next door. I could probably grab them.
Your size?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then you gotta listen to me talk if you really want to see them. But let's go through some details first before we worry about that. So you can see here, we got the slot button in the front. Nice detail, right? Like when the slot button is significantly more secure button. And then zipper fly.
Finish.
Swan in there, so you don't forget.
So pockets.
Yeah, it's all pretty straightforward. Nice, like a nice clean wearing pant. And it's in 3 colors. So we got this detail.
Yeah.
So they're flap. No, so it's flap on one side.
Yeah. And then this also tucks away, I believe.
Yeah.
Quite well. Yeah.
And no flap, so on the welt on the other side. And so you got that one secure pocket.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it for this one. What else we got? Any questions? So in terms of it being straight, you can see it's straight up to this point, pretty much, and then then you're starting to see the taper come in. But yeah, it's a linear pant from
Yeah, so it's more about a visual effect of how they look than like an actual straight line that's anywhere on the pant. All right, what else? Should we talk about the bonus? Thursday's bonus?
Yeah, we can talk about the bonus.
All right. This is all. So linears are coming out in 11 minutes. Blazers are already up on the site. 3 colors. So this is Olive Territory, roll dyed Olive Territory, Olive Territory, charcoal, RD charcoal, RD dark navy. Darkness is darkness. Yeah, darkness. Darkness came out a little lighter. I think it is darkness. It's not as dark as some of the darknesses. The wool darkness is definitely run a little darker than this. Difference between the linears and the I assume that means Injex high dart, night and day. I mean the rise isn't as high. The high darts have outwards. They're just cut very differently. High darts sit higher. They have a lot more taper. They have no side seam, right? They just have the dart. Yeah.
If they taper down, probably to here at the end. It has more of a severe taper at the bottom leg.
Yeah, there's more volume in the top, less volume in the bottom. There's no side seams, so the Injex high darts are quite different. These are, they feel 2 different very different vibes. You can wear it. You know, the sport coat is pretty versatile. You can wear the Inject Linen pants and the Injex hide arts with it, according to flavor. The linears are what really intended to be the best pairing with them. So that's definitely the easiest one to rock. And you can see the darkness. And underneath here, what do we got? Oh, we got a little different vibe. Tyler's gonna get these pants to try them on. We got Overkill Mesh. This is coming Thursday. Overkill Mesh Littlebigs, strictly for the bold. Before I get into it, so the question: why no black this year? We've done black too much in the past, and also, like, it gets political. Like if you go and try and buy black at Tom Brown, I'm pretty sure they'll only sell you a tuxedo, right? Like, I mean, he's like hardcore, you know, fetishizer of this kind of thing, right? So that's extreme. But black suits are really only supposed to be worn at funerals and black tie events, right? If you care about that kind of thing. I don't care too much about it, but we've done a lot of black blazers in the past, and keeping that in mind when we were like, oh, there's 3 color options, you know, like the dark gray isn't obvious, the dark navy isn't obvious, and we were like, well, we could do black again and be boring, or we could go to olive territory, which is a really nice, more interesting, and also really rarely available color. So faced with that math, we were like, let's go the interesting path. The black blazers are out there, they exist. Like, I'm not doing them this year. They have their use, but they do get, you know, they do sometimes get worn outside of code, which is fine if you want to break code, but it's better to understand the codes before you break them, and a lot of people wear them without even realizing. What is the overshirt? This is just a fabric we're testing. I don't actually think we're going to go forward with it. It's nice, but not that. I don't know. There's a lot of on the fence on this one, so I'm testing it, seeing it. It's working out okay, but I don't think it's going to happen. Just, you know, we're testing fabrics all the time. Tyler went for the, I got the wrong camera direction. There we go.
Because I couldn't actually find the
RDA olive
territory.
All right, well, so.
But I found it in the hide arts.
Okay.
Look at the difference. But yeah, so I don't know how see-through this looks.
You can see a little bit, like, it's definitely like,
in different lights, it's gonna radically different.
Yeah, so Overkill Mesh is in one color. This is for the bold. This is the mesh. Like, we're pretty clear about it. It's a mesh. You can see through it a little bit, but not necessarily all the details, and it feels fucking amazing.
That's great.
Like, and that's the point of this. These things feel like nothing on. You can, they're almost like actively cooling, and I'm not sure what about it, you know, other than airflow, but it's maybe it focuses the airflow, and people want to see you in the tank, but I don't think we have one right here. All right, Injex yes thing, yes pants. We're testing. We'll see. They might happen, but they're not as obvious as you do. As soon as they seem obvious. The Overkill Injex Mesh yes pants seems obvious, and then when we make them, we're like, I don't know. It's not a hard no, but it's definitely not like, holy shit, yeah, this is the right combo. And the real issue is, you know, the yes pants have essentially this waistband here, and all that crunching and Injex. You know, we've done it in the past. It's not like a hard no, but it's also like, it's not a hard yes either. But let's talk about these. Overkill Mesh Littlebigs. Yeah, we did. You know, so the colors. We actually ordered a second color of Overkill Mesh at one point, and it kind of disappeared, and we don't know where it is. It's like lost somewhere in the cutting room or something. But black is great, and let's talk about the material, right? Overkill Mesh. We've been using it in pockets for quite a while. This is a very heavy mesh. So it's got a lot of weight. I forgot the exact weight. but it's got a nice density to it, which, I mean, you can see my hands in there, right? So like it's somewhat see-through, but it's got a smoothness, and like when we started using it, like what attracted to us was actually that it's smooth enough to use as pockets, and like in a way that doesn't catch keys, and that you can sit on without it being uncomfortable. And that's why we're using it pockets. And then at some point we're like, let's play around, let's do it. And so we did the Overkill Mesh Bigs last year. And what is it? 260 GSM is the weight, which is about what is that, 8 ounces or something. And so are they lined? No, they're not lined, but they do have the willy wall. So these, so you get a second layer here, and then in the pockets, but they aren't lined. And my personal recommendation with these was to wear them with black underwear, and then and be really comfortable. I don't know about going full nude with this. Like, it's, again, it's strictly for the bold. It's like for people that are comfortable putting on a mesh short, because it feels like nothing, and it offers enough coverage that people aren't going to be seeing lots of details immediately. But if people, the right lighting, or if people start staring the wrong way, like, yeah, you can see through it a little bit. Here you can see like a little bit of the blue there, right, on the cord. So again, it's an experiment. Yeah, so let's see, there's some questions, but let's go through this first. So these are little bigs, so they're shorter, 6-inch inseam, I believe, and they have the double hole set up in the front here. So cord comes out, you can adjust it, and then so you have basically 3 ways you can wear this, use this paracord 3-bar adjust, right? Like, you can have it in like it is over here, right? You adjust in the middle and the cord gets tucked away. You can pull it out, adjust out, and have the cord dangle like that. And then the third way is you can relace it, and you can have the whole, take the 3-bar off, have the paracord go through that second set of hole, and put the actual 3-bar on the inside. And there's 3 colors paracord, so you get your black, your double black. This is Starlight, I think. Or is it Midnight Lightning? I think it's Starlight. And we got water here for a little more pop. Linear's coming in fall, winter fabrics. I don't think they're planned immediately. We've tested a little bit. It's not like they're bad per se, but we'll see how the Injex ones do first. It's one of those things where we're like, it's like we tested and it doesn't give a clear signal either direction, so we need more data. Updates on Injex camp collar. Yeah, we're fingers crossed for next week. Injex camp collars. It's just, they're actually like, the production's coming, but the production, we had the wrong photo samples. It's just one of those chaos mess things. So production's looking good now. It's just, now we have to figure out the photo side. Any chance on Injex Airs next week? Fingers crossed, yes, there is a chance. Price on little bigs, we haven't priced them yet. I'm guessing they're going to be, I think, like literally, I saw something pop up on my screen while I was doing this that had the final costing. So it's going to be, they're not going to be cheap. $250, $275, something like that. And yeah, different paracord colors. Yeah, so there's 3 paracord colors. Water, I believe this is Starlight or Midnight Lightning, or maybe just Lightning. It seemed like the original Lightning. Maybe we call it Starlight. And black, double black. I don't. Where are the people getting these 150, 250, threes? These things are going to cost over $200. That part is guaranteed. They're expensive, high risk, strictly for the bold kind of things. Bucket hat coming back. No buckets this year. We are hoping to have some hats, caps, but it's a new factory. We'll see. Injex flows. Yes, we're hoping to have Injex flows. Could these be let out a little bit on the inseam? Yes. So you can see here. I don't have a. I think that's 3/4. 3/4 full back, so that's 1.5 inches. And if you want to fold it back, yeah, so you can probably get 1 inch. If you left it raw cut, you might even get 1.5 inches. Is it possible for linears to be bulk buy? I mean, I don't know who's buying 5 linears, but yeah, like, we didn't make them bulk buy. We're probably not going to change it this year. Injex Airs. The Injex Airs, we don't have pricing on those either, but I don't think they'll be as, the Injex is not as expensive a fabric as the Overkill Mesh, so hopefully they'll be less. How's the mesh raw cut? We played with it a little bit, right? It's technically a knit. It might roll. I'm trying to remember if we've ever raw cut the Overkill Mesh in a product. I feel like we might have once.
Or in samples.
Yeah. It's at your own risk, but it should, like, in theory, it should be pretty good. It's a knit, so it shouldn't really unravel that much. It might roll. I mean, if you unstitch the hem here, you can see and like get a vibe off of it. All right, it's 101. Products are up. So these are coming Thursday. They're going to be expensive. We're going to work on the final price, but it's going to be, yeah, they're going to be expensive. Over 200, maybe a lot over 200. Got to do the final math, but it should be up on Thursday. The Blazer has been up since last Thursday, and the linears just went live 1 minute ago. Boom, 3 colors. You got your Arty Charcoal, your Arty Olive Territory, your Arty Darkness, Blazers, linears. The colors match. And then on Thursday, we got the Overkill Mesh Littlebigs for those who want to be in the breeze.
Want to talk about this for a second? What's that question?
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, since you have it,
yeah.
People just wanted to compare
These
the
are
hide arts are on top now.
Yeah, Injex hide arts and the linears are on the bottom, so you can see most of it's in the taper. You can see the thigh is wider because the pleat depth is much
and the pleats
bigger.
are facing out, right? So this is the big difference, right? These are outward pleats on the hide arts, whereas you got inward. So these are British pleats; they're a little bit deeper, and then you got your inward facing Italian pleats.
Very small.
And so you end up like getting much more, it basically pushes the fabric out towards the hips rather than in towards the front of the leg, right? And so, you got wider in the thighs, narrow at the bottom, so quite a different, and then the higher rise as well, so quite a different cut. 2 very different pants.
There it is.
All right. All right, I think that's it. So we're out of here until next week. Fingers crossed, Injex Airs and Camp Collars next week. But Thursday we got the Overkill Mesh Littlebigs, and we got the Blazers and the Linears today. So get to it. Catch you later. Peace. You want to say goodbye?
Yep. Catch you later.
All right. I guess I'll sign out again. Peace.